Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be cracking on with the Escort RS2000. Now we're going to see if we can get that rear quarter offered up. We have previously got the sill offered up, but we need to get that rear quarter offered up, so we know where we need to go so we can start doing that floor section. In the last videos we removed this rear quarter because there were some nasty repairs around this wheel arch and these corners and some corrosion in the bottom corner here. But that did let us easily fit this outer wheel arch tub and this spare wheel carrier. This video, to continue offering up this rear quarter, we do have to continue to strip these edges down. Now we've done most of it around here, but we do need to continue here all the way down the back of the boot. This back panel is going to be replaced, so we may just cut this section out, and we need to make sure it fits with the wheel arch, outer wheel arch tub and the spare wheel carrier as well. Once we've done that, offered it up and made sure it does fit, we're then going to remove it again and we're going to start on the floor. Now we might not get that far, but we're going to see how far we get in this video. So two things here. One is how we get these welds off. What we look for is the little dimples. Now they show us where the panel has been spot welded. So where this little dimple is, we grind it back and then we pry it up, and the rest of the section between there and the next one that's been spot welded on should just lift off. Now the other thing is, whoever's fitted this panel previously, because this has been a repair panel, they haven't spot welded them correctly, because I've literally, it happened the same here as well. This one, I basically take this one off and it just peeled them all off. This one, I've taken this spot weld off, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spot welds that have just popped off. Now that means this panel wasn't welded correctly. There should be 10 or 12 welds down here. There was only 2. So it's good for us because it makes it easier to get it off basically. So we're going to continue taking this panel off, and then we can offer this quarter up and make this joint. Now, some of you may feel that this is a little bit futile, just because this panel here, we do have a brand new one there. Now, why are we cleaning all this edge up? That's because we do know that this panel is in the correct place. So when we offer this rear quarter up, we know when we've got it flat against here, there is a little panel to make here that goes on the inside of this as well, which I've had to cut off. But when that's up against here and here on the bottom of this wheel well, as well as on the rear arch and down here, we know all that is seating in the original place, because this panel's original, this rear panel's original, and if we put that on, because we do have one of them there as well, so we've cleaned up the side of this and cleaned up the side of this, even though we're scrapping these two, so that we can make sure that this rear quarter, which is here, is in the right place. Once we've got this offered up in the right place, and maybe even tacked on, I don't know yet, then we can cut these out, because once that's in the right place, we know this panel, this rear quarter, will seat against there, and that's going to be in the right place as well. So we're basically using these old panels, which we're going to cut out later, as reference for this rear quarter going on. Right, that's the rear quarter panel on. Now we have just offered it up. Now it's not perfect, but we have just tacked it in two places and a couple of clamps. It does need a little bit of pushing and pulling and a lot of manipulation till we get it absolutely spot on. But that's for when we fit it finally. Now we're going to take it back off because we do have the floor to do, we do have the sill to do, but we're going to offer that one up first, and we do have a panel repair to do underneath that quarter, but we needed to know this fit before we do anything else. We're also going to take off this boot, we're going to take this back panel out, but because we do have a brand new one here, but we're not going to replace that back panel until this quarter is completely fixed in. When this rear quarter is completely fixed in, we'll then have a reference point for this rear back panel. Now this is the rear back panel. It's not a small thing, but we do have reference point on that side because that rear quarter is in place and it's original. So when we finish this rear quarter, we're going to go fit that back panel, and we're going to make sure it lines up with this rear quarter and make that little section on the inside as well. So next thing to do is take this rear quarter out, carry on with that repair panel and start on that floor. I've forgotten how bad the bottom of this car was, but after talking to the customer and especially about this transmission tunnel and these chassis rails, we've come up with a plan. What we're actually going to do is we're going to take out the floor pans either side, leave the chassis rails and the transmission tunnel in place. So basically we're going to cut all this out here, round here, and replace the floor pans from the inside. Now the reason for that is, I'll show you. Right, so this work here, which looks absolutely hideous, is the RS2000 conversion, because this area here, let me put that, this area here is where on the standard shell, that's where the gear stick used to go. But from factory, what they've actually done is they've cut out this extra hole, it looks like with a gas torch and or with a butcher's knife or something, and then they put a cover over the top of it and put some nasty sealant on the inside. Now that shows that this is a real RS2000. Well, one of the reasons why it's a genuine RS2000. Also, this absolute butchery here is also, show you that a little bit better, is also original from factory. Now, because they show that this is original, we actually want to leave these and this, as well as all the transmission tunnel down there, in place. Hence why we're just going to replace here and here. Now, there are a few factors that we've got to get around. One of them, if I can put that there, is this. Now the cut is going to be across here. So what we're going to do is we're going to detach this from this part of the floor pan. but leave it on this transmission tunnel. So we'll leave this hanging as it is once we've taken off the welds and cut this part out. We're going to have the same issue here because this bracket goes all the way down here, but we're going to be cutting across here. We'll probably cut round it, and then from the inside we'll make a cut across here, and then we'll peel that inside layer, this floor layer, off of that so it leaves this in place so we can then weld it back on. Again, we've got the same issue here. We've also got some mounting brackets that we didn't get with the floor pan as well, but we've also got this going off. Now we do have some holes in the chassis up there that we do have to repair, but these here, thankfully, we have got just here. I've got some brand new ones, so they're going to replace them, but we've got on the way, he's sending us some of these as well. So when we cut the floor pan out, we're actually going to cut all the way across here, down here, down here, all the way across here and up there, and then we're going to trim it around the chassis rail to leave that original chassis rail in. And then from the inside, we're going to peel what's left of this floor pan off of this chassis rail. And then when we've done that, from the inside, we can put half a floor pan back inside, sitting on this, sitting on top of these, and leaving all this in place. Now we've got this side of the chassis rail cleaned up, we have found some holes. It's always the case. As soon as we took this off, there's just basically a hole that somebody's put a nasty patch on straight over the top, not bothered cutting any of the rust out, treating it or anything. So there is something that we're going to do here, we're going to have to do here, as well as further around here. I think this is going to go through as well as further up here, just there as well. But we're going to address that later. What we're going to carry on doing for now is taking this floor out. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to cut around this, get as much of the floor out here, this side of the chassis rail, as we can. Once we've cleaned all that up and we've got everything set, we're going to go to the other side of the chassis rail. Now, if we look inside, we've got these seat rails, which we do over there have brand new ones of, so we don't have to worry about these. But where we're going to be doing at the moment is just this side section. We do have to, if I can get around there, retain this rear seat support in, and we've got to decide whereabouts we're going to cut it here. I think we're going to go just above this weld line, but again, we do have on the other side those brackets to try and retain, so it is going to be a fairly slow process, but it will be a better result in the end. Right, so that's the first part of the floor out. Now, as you can see, there's a floor pan on top of a rusty floor pan. Now, all they've literally done, they've not even tried to get any of the rust out. All they've just done is wang a new floor pan, or part floor pan. Looks like it stretches all the way down there, look. Put part of a floor pan on top of the existing rusty floor. So we're going to trim this off so it doesn't get in his way, but we're not going to deal with that just as of yet. What we're going to carry on doing is we're going to carry on prepping all this around here and cleaning this up a little bit more and getting this bit out here, which when we have a look inside, that is this bit here up to this bar. That's what we want to get out first and start cleaning these edges up. Right, that's it for this video, guys. We seem to have run out of time because this floor section has been a little bit trickier than I expected. Now, I was going to put, and I still am, the floor panning, the half floor panning from the inside, but not thinking we're trying to save this rear seat rail. Now, this rear seat rail obviously is in the way. I can't put a floor pan in when this is in. So we're going to try and unstitch this and save it. If not, we'll just get a new one. Now, we have found some corrosion on the chassis. We do have to contact the customer and have a think about what we want to do, whether we want to replace or repair. Now, we are going to continue to clean up all the edges in the next video and this section and try to get that floor pan at least offered up. But that's for the next video. If you've enjoyed the video, leave us a like and smash that subscribe button. Till then, we will see you in the next one.